Imagine you have been bitten by a poisonous snake. Your survival depends on getting help quickly, but instead, you chase the snake, trying to explain why it shouldn't bite you. Isn't that madness? You have to remember that life is not about chasing snakes. It is about the choices we make when we face difficulties. It is about finding peace within us, not about external explanations. It is about realizing that some battles are not worth fighting and some questions don't need answers. Yet, we waste our energy on things we cannot change. We fight battles we cannot win. Today, I am taking you on a journey to free yourself from these pointless struggles. But it is not about the destination. It is about the journey itself. Stoicism has the power to transform the way you deal with everything life throws at you. Imagine developing more peace, less stress, and an unshakable inner strength. When you put on this stoic armor, you have a disaster-proof spirit. If you are tired of chasing snakes, if you are ready to embrace the wisdom of the ages and find peace in turmoil, you are in the right place. In this video, you will find more than information. Stay with us as we examine the most common trait of those who feel they have to explain everything and discover how Stoicism, people-pleasing tendencies. Imagine a chameleon, constantly changing color to blend in with its surroundings, struggling to blend in. This is a metaphor for people-pleasers. They mold themselves to the expectations of others, sacrificing their authenticity for the temporary reward of approval. At the heart of people-pleasing is a deep hunger for acceptance. It is a belief that our worth depends on others liking us. Yet this quest is akin to chasing shadows. The more we appease, the harder it is to achieve true fulfillment. Stoicism offers a profound alternative. It teaches us that our primary allegiance should be to our own virtue, to live according to wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When we bind ourselves to these principles, the need to constantly please others diminishes. Although people-pleasing provides socially uncomfortable relief, it comes at a heavy price. Every time we compromise our values for approval, we lose self-respect. The Stoics understood that inner peace is far more valuable than any external approval. Stoicism is not about being harsh or uncaring. It is about the courage to be ourselves, even if it means that not everyone will like us. Imagine the quiet strength of an oak tree. It stands firm and true despite the shifting winds of opinion. When we break free from the trap of people-pleasing, we discover a profound freedom. Our worth becomes unshakable because it stems from our commitment to living a principled life. This true self-reliance enables us to show kindness and respect to others without desperately needing their approval in return. 2. The challenge with borders. Imagine living in a house with no walls, where the voices of others constantly seep in, blurring the lines between your own thoughts and theirs. This is the experience of someone who struggles with boundaries. They become entangled in a web of external opinions and expectations without a clear idea of where their own identity ends and others begin. When this happens, it is easy to take on the emotional burdens of others. Their worries become your worries. Their problems become your problems. It is like trying to carry other people's luggage on your own journey, an unsustainable and exhausting task. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining one's inner peace. They recognized that true well-being is a clear line between what is under our control and what is beyond our control. Just as a walled city protects against invaders, healthy boundaries protect our minds from the uncontrolled influence of others. A basic Stoic practice is to discern what deserves our attention and what does not. This does not mean being cold or uncaring. It means recognizing that we have a limited amount of energy and that it is wise to spend it on things that are truly within our sphere of influence. We can offer compassion and support to others without absorbing their concerns or letting their opinions define us. Stoicism teaches us the power of no. Setting boundaries can mean refusing requests that drain our time or energy, or firmly but respectfully disengaging from conversations that undermine our values. It is about honoring our own needs and priorities with both firmness and compassion. Contrary to popular belief, healthy boundaries do not isolate us. They create space for genuine connection. When we know ourselves well and respect our own boundaries, we can show up for others with authenticity and offer support without intertwining. It is a paradox. By defining where we end and others begin, we build a stronger foundation for fulfilling relationships. 3. Deep insecurity. In a world where every action and word is questioned by a ruthless inner critic, deep insecurity is marked by self-doubt and fear of being judged. People in this situation constantly seek external validation and feel the need to explain themselves for fear of being misunderstood or judged. At the root of this insecurity lies the false belief that one's worth depends on the approval of others. Stoicism offers a powerful solution to this inner turmoil. It teaches us to focus on the things under our control, our thoughts, actions, and character. Stoics know that the judgments of the world are uncontrollable, but that we can choose how we interpret our mind. Understanding that our worth lies within ourselves allows us to be resistant to external judgments. Building a fortress in our minds against self-doubt is the main goal of Stoicism. Through mindfulness and self-reflection, we create an inner world that is not dependent on the perceptions of others. This means accepting our own worth independently of the opinions of others. When we are freed from deep insecurity, the need to constantly justify ourselves disappears and is replaced by an unwavering consciousness of our own worth. Thus, we can connect with others from a place of genuine self-expression. 4. Perception anxiety. Imagine living in a mental prison where your every move is scrutinized by an invisible audience. This is the world of someone consumed by anxiety about being perceived. They believe that happiness and fulfillment depend on the approval of others, and this leads to an exhausting effort to control how they are seen. This endless worry about perception is like carrying an invisible weight. Over time, even small interactions can feel heavy and full of tension, robbing us of joy and spontaneity. Stoicism offers a liberating perspective on this anxiety, reminding us that we cannot control the thoughts of others. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus emphasize the importance of focusing on what is within our control. Instead of trying to change the perceptions of others, we can turn our attention to our own actions, intentions, and growth. Imagine a gardener. He takes care of his plants, providing sunlight and water, but he cannot force them to bloom when they want to. Similarly, we can nurture our own character, but we cannot micromanage how others see us. We gain peace by knowing our limits, which are set by Stoic principles. Embracing Stoic teachings is not about being indifferent to others. It is about letting go of the suffocating need to control their opinions. Imagine being freed from that invisible weight, the relief of letting go of the impossible task of pleasing everyone. This newfound freedom allows for real connections based on mutual respect. 5. Argumentative personality. Imagine every debate as a battlefield where the primary goal is victory, not understanding. For the debater, every conversation can become a chance to prove their intellectual superiority. The need to always be right often stems from insecurity disguised as overconfidence. While some people really enjoy heated debates, for others it becomes an addiction. There is the thrill of confrontation, of poking holes in someone else's argument. Yet the constant striving for superiority can overshadow the simple pleasure of making a real connection and exchanging ideas. However, they also understood the importance of recognizing when to enter and when to leave a debate. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius remind us that we cannot control the thoughts of others and that sometimes the real power lies in walking away from pointless arguments. Stoicism encourages us to practice active listening. Instead of constantly developing counter-arguments, learn to really hear what the other person is saying. Even if you ultimately disagree, try to understand their point of view. This is a shift from trying to win to expanding your own understanding of the world. Stoic practice involves realizing what is really important. Wasting energy on trivial disagreements can drain our emotional resources. Choose your battles wisely. Engage in debates that increase your knowledge or defend important principles. But set aside the need to have the last word on every issue. It offers a deep sense of inner peace. When we release the compulsion to always be right, we free ourselves from unnecessary conflict. We discover the joy of encouraging open-mindedness. 6. Difficulty reading social cues. Imagine standing on a stage and speaking to a seemingly mesmerized audience. But before you know it, subtle signs of disinterest fill the room: fidgeting, wandering eyes, stifled yawns. This represents the experience of someone who struggles to read social cues. Their true connection may go unnoticed as they continue to explain the dissonance without realizing it. Misreading social signals can lead to feelings of awkwardness or rejection. Questions such as, "Did I say the wrong thing?" or "Am I not interesting enough?" can arouse feelings of self-doubt as the mind wanders. Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control how others perceive us or how they choose to react, but we can control our own attention and willingness to learn and adapt. A Stoic knows that social interactions are a dynamic dance and require us to pay attention to both our own words and the nonverbal cues of others. Stoic practice involves developing self-awareness. Pay close attention to the subtle signals people send, their body language, facial expressions, and energy levels. More importantly, become an observer of your own inner state. Does your intuition signal that it's time to wrap up a conversation or change the subject? Stoicism does not advocate social withdrawal. Instead, it teaches us to approach interactions with humility and harmony. If you sense disinterest, adjust the conversation gracefully. Ask open-ended questions, perhaps change the subject, or offer a gentle way out by saying something like, "I don't want to take your time in one hand." Taking this Stoic approach frees us from the anxiety of constantly analyzing, "Did I do something wrong?" Social interactions become about genuine exchange and going with the flow with both respect and awareness, rather than proving our worth or needing constant validation. 7. Communication style. Imagine a skilled engineer meticulously preparing a blueprint. Their detailed approach ensures precision and avoids mistakes. Similarly, a detail-oriented communicator values rigor and leaves little room for ambiguity. This trait serves them well in situations where accuracy and clarity are crucial. Too many brushstrokes, however, can blur a painting and cause them to miss the main message. Stoic philosophers believed in the power of clear and effective communication. They understood that true wisdom lies not only in the possession of knowledge, but also in the ability to skill it correctly. A basic Stoic practice is to discern what is necessary and what is unnecessary. Think of an experienced storyteller. They tailor their narrative to their audience and their purpose. Similarly, Stoicism encourages us to be adaptive communicators. Gauge the audience's interest before going into details and adapt your explanation accordingly. Provide a high-level summary first and then ask, "Would you like more details?" Stoicism teaches us to value our time and the time of others. Practice being concise. Can you express the same idea in fewer words? This skill requires effort, but it leads to clearer communication. Think of it like sharpening a tool. A sharp message cuts more effectively than a blunt message. Do you remember the story of the snake bite? It is tempting to spend precious energy trying to change the past or persuade those who are closed to understanding. But Stoicism shows us a better way. Imagine the freedom of letting go of this struggle. Imagine the power you gain by focusing on what really matters, your inner world, your actions, and your growth. This journey is not always easy. There will be times when you fall back into old habits. Be kind to yourself. Stoicism is about progress, not perfection. If you learned something new today, if you even felt a spark of inspiration to live life more mindfully, let's learn and grow together on this path. And finally, if this video has added value to you, help discover it. Like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until we see you in the next videos, stay happy.